word.
Well, Jason, you mentioned topography a minute ago. And with this conversation of severe and snow, I feel like this kind of rolls into a question that we had on social media about lower precipitation totals and kind of the French Broad Valley. I know you have a map and some resources to talk about, so I'll kind of let you take over from there.
Yeah, I think when people talk about Western North Carolina weather, the first thing that comes to mind is snow, but then rain is actually a very diverse topographical feature here as well. So I brought this 3D relief map just to give you an idea. It's kind of one of my more favorite maps to look at. I could study this. I've looked at this 100 times already, and I could still just look at it almost every given day. So here's the French Broad River Valley right here. This is I-26 running through, and it's a valley. So it's the Broad River Valley. So it's pretty wide considering the other features here. The French Broad starts down in Transylvania County near Rosman and goes north through Asheville and all the way up into the Holston River into eastern Tennessee. But what you have around the valley are higher elevations. So Asheville sits kind of in the middle here, Hendersonville down here, Brevard right there. And the prevailing winds during the spring and summer months are south and southeasterly winds. That will draw moisture from the Atlantic and the Gulf, bring it into the mountains. And because of the features we have from lower elevations in the upstate and Piedmont to highest elevations here, the air has to rise. And so the air will rise and cool and condense into clouds and form a significant rain event down here into the southern mountains, whereas Asheville is in that rain shadow. And the rain will fall mostly to the west and south or to the north and east because we have the Black Mountains and the Craggies up here. So that prevailing wind will certainly help rain form more over this area of the county, Buncombe County, eastern side, and into Yancey. So there's a rain shadow here. There are other rain shadows like in Waynesville. They're surrounded with the Balsam Mountains to the south and west. They don't see nearly as much rain in the valley as they do just west and south of Waynesville as well. So that's kind of how it works in the summer months. In the winter months, the prevailing wind is much, much different. It's from the northwest. So the wind is blowing into the Smoky Mountains and the higher elevations along the Tennessee border. And that's where most of the precipitation is going to fall, near and along the border, whereas there's another shadow effect down here in the valley. So this is why Asheville usually averages a foot of snow a year, and places up in Madison and Yancey County can get up to 50 inches of snow, like Mount Mitchell averages in a particular year. So big difference with the prevailing winds during the different seasons. But that's pretty much how the shadow affects us here in the French Broad River Valley. In fact, south of Virginia, east of the Mississippi River, I believe Marshall is the driest point in that eastern U.S. So it's pretty neat.
Cool. Do you guys